Greetings, everyone. Peace and blessings. How's everybody doing? Okay. I wanted to talk about some of the things, good morning, that are going on now. Mercury went retrograde yesterday. It's going to be retrograde until it's going to be through its retrograde shadow February 8th. Venus was a part of this retrograde conjunction. Pluto is also a part of it. This is a profound time energetically, you guys, because America's in its Pluto return. And I was talking about this the last time, but here's the thing that's so fascinating about it. Pluto at the 27th degree is the degree of peace. And our ability to be at peace with difficult things. Pluto is always like, this shit is hard. That's always going to be the case with Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. It's where we come to the shadow. It's where we come to power and sexuality. But it's the engine that creates all of this. Like Pluto really is the planet that's running everything. Where Pluto, because it's the underlord, it's where the power comes from. It's the generative force. And, light, yes, we're nothing without light. We're nothing without the sun. We're nothing without the moon and the pull of the water. But Pluto is the engine that makes this motherfucker go. And so America's system is about to crumble, you guys. I just want y'all to know. The American system, the things that we have relied upon for lifetimes that have been normal are going to become extinct. I'm telling you all. So it's going to be really important for us to be able to do the work that we need to do to take care of ourselves. And really, the thing that I see as the most significant thing to do is really getting our mind under the understanding that we are energetic beings. Because when we understand that we are energetic beings, the universe will really begin to conspire for us. When I say the American system is collapsing and we need to get ourselves in alignment, I'm not saying to panic. I'm not saying to rush out and buy a whole lot of water and a whole lot of toilet paper. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's time for you to recognize your connection to nature. The thing that America did, the Western system does, is that it externalizes all of our power. It externalizes our authority. And in the externalization of the authority and the power, we don't recognize who we are. We don't recognize our gifts and our potential and the way that we are aligned with natural cycles. This is why you got to turn off the motherfucking TV, you guys. You got to stop listening to the music. You have to purify yourself. Why do you purify yourself? So that you can understand your own signal, so that you can really be in alignment with your own frequency, so that you are not allowing any external things to override your own system. What does that look like? We're already all caught up in it, right? So, the holidays, like one of the things, I have rules for myself. I can only have one drink. If I'm out, I can only have one drink, and I can have one drink a week. I always know that I'm going to break it. So I give myself one, but I'll have two, right? But now with the holidays and everybody's celebrating, and it's time for us to down-regulate, to relax, to conserve our energy, I've been eating and drinking, and I've been out allowing an external force to pull my power, to get me to use my energy in ways that isn't in alignment with what I actually need, so that by the time spring comes, I have more power because I've conserved my energy now. It is important for us to really, this Mercury retrograde was conjunct with Venus, which is our senses, right? Our emotions, how we feel. We have to control our emotions. You cannot be, and in order to control your emotions, you have to relate to your emotions. So men, for instance, most men have been conditioned to ignore their emotions, to override them. If you've been overriding your emotions for 20 years, you are not going to have a good time in this reality that's coming on board. You've got to be able to feel. You must be able to feel. You must be able to transmute feelings and energy, alchemize it, and use it as power. Like food. Like when you eat food, that food is digested, alchemized, and it becomes energy, right? So you have to be able to take in things that actually are going to uplift you, inspire you. Don't take in things that are going to make you sick and sad and heavy and depressed. So you have to make sure that you are surrounded by people who are uplifting. Make sure that you're in spaces that infuse your emotional sensory system with love and joy and peace and harmony. So you have to be deliberate about this, because it's not going to be readily available in the world, because the reality is collapsing, because America is at its Pluto return. So all of the systems that have been generated through this Western capitalism, all of that sort of stuff, are going to begin to deteriorate rapidly, and you are going to have to become your own center of reality. We have all been anchored in the center of reality that is America, that is, whiteness and white supremacy, and we have learned how to function to survive here. We've had to. We've not had a choice. We've been doing it because we've had to, right? But now that system is over with. It might be fighting for its life. It might be still trying to live. It might be, but it's over with, because the Pluto is in Capricorn at the 27th degree. So the thing to do is you've got to this Mercury retrograde is about your mental authority. Your mind is your authority. What you are, the mental thought, the frequency with which you function in, is what's creating your life. Look at everything going on in your life right now. Everything that's happening in your life right now, you created it. Because that is how this reality works, you guys. We've got to really get it. So if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through a health challenge, if you're going through it's all your creation. And the best thing to do is ask, now, why would I create this? Why would I create this? What's the lesson that this is here to teach me? What is this coming to bring me? What is it that I need to know from this experience? You must begin to ask yourself, why did I create this? Because Mercury in Capricorn, and it's retrograde between it started at the degree of 8, which is the degree of goodness, and it's ending at the degree of the 24th degree, which is the degree of humility, right? The degree of humility says you cannot continue to play small. The degree of humility says you cannot keep thinking that somebody else is fucking doing it to you. You're doing it. You are the only thing in your life that's creating anything. So until you understand your own power, your power will work against you. Until you understand that you are the only force that has the ability to generate anything in your reality, your power will work against you. Until you fucking wake up to the nature of who you truly are, your power is going to get you. So the only question is, why would I create this? Because Mercury retrograde in Capricorn says your mind is the only authority there is. Your mind is the only thing that can create, because that is how this reality works, y'all. And that's all that you got to know. When I started studying, I was like, I just need to know one thing. How does this motherfucker work? This is a mental reality. Everything here is mental. Everything comes from the mind. But guess what? There are all these things that play into that. Your feelings are a part of that. So you have to master your emotions. You have to master your feelings. And I've had to really pay attention to that in my own life because as Black people, for those of us who are Black, we have hundreds of years of suppressing our emotions to survive, to get along, to protect ourselves. So we feel one thing and we think something else and we negate what we feel because we couldn't act on it. You guys have to really understand what 250, 400 years of trauma and terror and slavery have done in our systems. It's a real thing. Like the level of suppression that we have within our own systems is off the chart. So you have to really begin to put yourself in safe spaces where you can feel and allow yourself to run the trauma out of your nervous system. That's why a lot of us drink. We drink alcohol. We're addicted to sugar. Because we're numbing our feelings. We're addicted to outside things that are not natural, right? So you can use natural plant medicines and all that sort of stuff, but you have to use it so that those things can assist you in connecting to your feelings so that you can actually access your emotions, because that's suppressed power, that's energy, that's why we have high rates of diabetes, high rates of heart issues, high rates because we are not dealing appropriately with our emotions. You must deal with your emotions. Your mind is the only authority there is. That's right. So, be very mindful. Find ways, like I said, find ways that feel safe and aligned to access your suppressed emotions and untangle them. Your emotions, if you think about like matted hair, like matted black hair for those of us who have kinky nappy hair, and when that hair is not, if you don't untangle it, it just mats and it grows into itself. It's always growing, but it just grows back into itself and gets into the mat and becomes nappier and nappier. That's what your emotions do when you suppress them. They're always there. They're always moving. They're always growing, but they just begin to go against themselves. And that has to be detangled. Those energies, am I making sense, or is what I'm saying sound crazy? Does it make sense or does it sound crazy? Okay, I guess it sounds crazy because nobody's saying anything. So, okay. So, with the Mercury retrograde, okay, great. With the Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, this work is asking you to align your mind and your feelings. To align your mind and your feelings. Pay attention to the last 3 weeks. What has been getting what's been getting your attention? Where have you been triggered? Where do you give your authority away? For me, I had a memory of, one of the things that I have done, so in the Mercury retrograde class, the thing that we're working on, and if you guys want to come and work on it with us, you can. The class is $166 and it's going to go to February 8th. Because it's Mercury in Capricorn, we have to reassess our integrity. And many of us give our authority away to things that we have inherited through our systems, right? So my work has been giving my authority to men. Like I really believed internally that men have more power than me. Where'd that come from? Jesus, Christianity, having a violent father who was abusive to my mother, who would dominate her and take her power in that way. But she was in that too. She wasn't a victim. That was the game they played. I do not believe that women are victims when they are in abusive relationships, because I understand subconscious power, and women have subconscious power, meaning we create the reality, right? The subconscious is more powerful than any physical thing ever when you're connected to it and you know how it works. The subconscious is the real power, the only power that we have. So my mother would subconsciously generate these battles between her and my father, and they would physically fight. So once I got really clear about that, though, I was like, oh, where am I giving my power away to men? And my spirit showed me, do you remember? Like literally, I remembered all of the major men in my life. I dreamed about them before they came. I dreamed of them before they got here, which let me know that that was a subconscious soul call between us. So I called them in. The feminine is creating everything. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I think he's a jerk, or I think that's my creation. I called him in through a subconscious urge. The reason we don't think the subconscious is power is because this masculine patriarchal world doesn't teach us the power of the subconscious. So we think it's nothing, because they want to render us powerless. Because if we understand how powerful the subconscious is and how to use it, that's when you become, Neo. Like nothing can beat your subconscious power. When you are aligned subconsciously through your heart and through love, nothing can touch you. So it is important as women for us to understand that everything in our lives comes through something that we have said yes to at the deepest levels of ourselves. That's everything, especially if you have a Pisces energy or a Pisces rising, Cancer energy. All the water energy for women is highly subconscious, right? So when I'm like, oh, everyone in my life, I created them, I drew them in. And what I realized that everyone in my life came from me living at the frequency of scarcity, not feeling like I'm enough, not understanding my power, not understanding how to use my intuition, my subconscious, my magic, not understanding that I am the only generator of it. My mind is the authority. No one has power over me except that I say, here's my power. Once I got that, and I'm still getting it. Once I really started to really understand it, it's like, I can't be angry with anybody in my life, the men, because they all showed up and did what I believed they could only do. That's the only thing. They're only showing up doing what I have created. That's how it is. And as women, it's so important for us to learn that this is how powerful we are. But the world has a profound agenda to keep us not believing it. But it's true. It's true. No matter if we believe it or not, it's how it is. So I start doing the work to really forgive myself for the forgetfulness, to understand that I'm powerful. And I remind myself over and over and over again, I'm powerful. As Black people, one of the things that's really important for us to get as Black people, you guys, when slavery was an institute in this American system, the wealthiest people in the country were slave owners. Why? If you go look at the value of melanin is worth more than gold. Melanin is worth more than gold. if we're black people, we have melanin. Why is melanin worth more than gold? What the things that I do, I ask myself, why would we be the most valuable thing? If we are the most valuable thing, then how is it that where is my value? What is it that I don't know about myself that others would want to own me? What is it that I don't know about myself that would make another motherfucker want to own me? Do you get it? Like, you got to really understand this thing. Why is it that they go through such great lengths to keep me asleep and keep me outside of my power? What is it that I need to know about myself that I'm missing? These are the questions I ask myself to bring myself into awareness of my gifts and talents and my authority. Do you understand? You have to really understand what it means to be a black person. They're going to great lengths to make sure that we don't get it. And so because we're trying to fit into this system, we suppress ourselves. We do it to ourselves, trying to fit in. But the system is built through our energetic frequency. It's built through our codes, especially as women, because for 250 years, all of the black people, all of them were born into the system of slavery. We are the most valuable thing that there is here. That's why they didn't put the money against gold anymore. That's why gold is not the foundation for money. Why? Because black people are. Do you understand? But we don't want to believe that because that doesn't make sense. That's crazy. What? That's crazy. But it's true. I know it's crazy. It's so the things that I have learned studying, I don't want to say them out loud because I'm like, people are going to think I'm out of my motherfucking mind. Because had I heard somebody saying this when I was in that reality, I would be like, oh, those motherfuckers are crazy. It's true, y'all. It's true. So if you are a black person, you are the most valuable thing you have. You are your most valuable asset because of the melanin and your ability to relate to this reality. Now you have to find out how that works. That's your job, to find out how your powers work. How does your energy work? How can you make it so that it works the best way possible? How do you thrive? No one's going to give you the answers. I've created Follow the Sun. Follow the Sun is a beautiful community that will give you the space to discover who you are because it's based on astrology. So it can help you get there, but it can't do the work for you. You still have to do the work. Nobody would have been able to tell me that my reality is born out of my consciousness because I'm a Pisces rising. And anything that I focus my subconscious on, and the subconscious is familiar family patterns, family karma. The subconscious is the amenta. It's what everybody else is feeling. I had to study to understand how I function. I had to study. It didn't just come to me, right? Because and here's why this is happening now. Because we are living in the Kali Yuga. We're living in the Kali Yuga. What does that mean? We're living in the dark ages. We're at the end of the dark ages. And that means that we were all born during this time to transmute our energy from dark to light. We're born to do this now. We are born for it, right? So that Pisces in the fourth house means that you are creating your reality from within you. That's Pisces in the fourth. The fourth house is your inner world. So if you have Pisces there, that means your subconscious and your inner world are one thing. Pisces moon, it means that your feelings, you are connected to the collective. You are connected to the collective subconscious. So that means that you are impacted by collective issues. The collective things that we're all drawn to impact you. Jupiter in Pisces It means that you have a master imagination. Like your imagination really works well, but you have to learn how to use it and learn how it functions. So it's really important that we begin to do this work, you guys, and learn how we work, because we're not going to be able to hold on to the old reality anymore. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. So you guys can come and join Mercury retrograde class. Just a couple more days. We'll be doing this work there and learning how to step into your power and master yourself, because you are your greatest vehicle, your greatest asset. And you're going to have to learn how to take responsibility for yourself, especially us as women. I know for me as a woman, I used to, for a long time, really wanted to believe that a man was going to save me and rescue me. And they can't save us. We're the saviors. The women are the saviors. The men, they can't, because they're not tapped in to the higher frequencies in the way that we are, unless they are very tapped into their feminine energy. If they're tapped into their feminine energy, then they can do a great deal of support. But if they're not, they need us. They need us to be the lead. So, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Okay, so I'm looking forward to our session next week. Yay, me too. I love you too. That's what people have a hard time letting go of, these white systems. Yeah, but it's all we've ever known. So you'd understand why it would be a hard time to let go of it. But we have to let go, because we're going to suffer if we don't let go. And we don't want to allow our energy to continue to be vampired by things that don't have reciprocity. We need reciprocity. We need to be in spaces where there's reciprocity, where there's giving and receiving. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Bye-bye.